What is going on, ladies and gentlefish of the courtroom? This is the Croc to bring you a TGB Gold Silver Crystal OU Wi-Fi battle versus MaverickHuntervile. Now, I decided to change teams for this particular battle, and this is a very long-awaited match of, I guess, titans of Gold Silver Crystal. So, we're going to see how this goes. I'm looking pretty forward to seeing what Maverick Hunter brings to the table. So, let's get straight into the match, shall we? MaverickHuntervile is going to lead with an Electrode. Now, immediately I ask him if this is OU because he's using an Electrode, and I'm going to be leading with Clavier, Gab, and my Ampharos. Now, I know for a fact that I could Cotton Spore this or anything else that comes in, and I do catch the Steelix on the switch with the Cotton Spore, but, you know, I would have liked to catch the Electrode, but I guess the Steelix will work, because this gives me a free switch out to Goodman as he doubles to Machamp, which it doesn't really favor either one of us because I can take physical hits for days on end. It looks like from this point it's an opportune time to set up my spikes, which is what I'm going to go ahead and do now. As he goes for the cross chop, it does do a lot. He actually doesn't get the crit, but it's actually a 2-shot from that range. So instead of exploding, I decide to leave it for later as he switches into Steelix. I decide to go to Hammond. I know outside of, I guess, Explosion, there's not too much Steelix can do offensively to Executor. As I just follow up with that Hidden Power Fire, I want to see how much damage it actually does, and I can see it's a 3-shot as he decides to go for the Roar, and unfortunately for Maverick, he does roar me out into my offensive Typhlosion here, which is just going to roast this Steelix. I'm not going to overpredict. I'm just going to go for the Fire Blast and take this Steelix down. Next up is going to be this Electrode. Now, Electrode having a really high speed, it's really not as offensive as you would think. He's going to set up a light screen as I go back to Goodman now. I think your Cloyster's already gotten spikes up, so what I'm going to do is explode here. I'm hoping he'll overpredict. I don't know why he would, because Cloyster really isn't something I need now, so, you know, Thunderbolt taking it down is really no big issue to me. So I get a chance to bring in Ampharos and slow this thing down with a Cotton Spore, as he's going to Thunder Wave Ampharos. Not that it actually cares, as it wasn't slow enough anyway. Gonna switch back into Marshall here because now this thing is slower and I come right in on Explosion. So very excellent play by Maverick. But because it is an Electrode, it's not going to quite take down Typhlosion, even though Explosion has a very strong power. Now here I decide to actually attack just in case he wanted to Drum right here. Knowing he could take one extra attack and Drum, I couldn't risk him drumming without getting some residual damage on him, even if he was going to Earthquake straight away on both Typhlosion and Ampharos. Which here he actually surprises me and decides not to go straight away for the Earthquake on Ampharos, and he just goes straight out into Machamp, making me think that I can double out into my Executor, but he gets the Cross Chop crit right off the bat, and that actually does a pretty good chunk. It's a 3-hit KO with the critical hit, so now I know he's going to go to T-Tar. I just played the safe Psychic. I don't know why I did that. Looking back at it, the T-Tar switch was almost too obvious. Then again, it's not like I knew that he had a Tyranitar at this point. I just decided to set up a Solar Beam as he's going to double back out into Charizard, which is fine with me. I know it's not going to take Jack anything from Solar Beam, and from that range, Fire Blast will kill Hammond. And I know this, but he's actually going to miss, and that is going to be so beneficial for me because that's going to bring it in the range where it can't Drum or Sub, which is going to make it where he would have to attack straight away. I know now that I see the Fire Blast and the Earthquake, I'm pretty much confirmed that it is indeed Belizard, but I'm going to give myself a free switch into Ampharos because Ampharos has the defenses to take unstabbed Earthquake even after this Fire Blast, and all I need to do really is I need to take this Earthquake or this Fire Blast, predicting him to overpredict, thinking I would predict the Earthquake, go into Executor, and fodder out Executor. I get through this paralysis, go for a T-Bolt, and take this Charizard down. And now he shows Gyarados, and at the worst time too, because Gyarados from this range can easily revenge kill. As you will see, Gavin is going to go down to the double edge, and down goes my main counter to this Gyarados, which is very unfortunate. I decided to go out into Umbreon here. Umbreon can take hits for days from anything this thing wants to do. He decides to go straight away for the Zap Cannon, which is fine. Just decided to look. I can pass into whatever I want. What I am thinking is I could pass, looking at the remainder of his team, I could easily pass into Exeggutor, take a couple double edges here, nothing too serious. Going to continue to set up growth. I'm trying to think if I want to pass this to Exeggutor. It is pretty beneficial for me. I can tell by the damage output, this is definitely not Hidden Power Flying. I'm leaning toward Hidden Power Ground, which again would give me that free switch into Exeggutor. Very beneficial for me, as I could just continually moonlight this damage off, so it's very nice. Being parried instead of being toxic at this point is very nice. It will enable me to either growth at my leisure, or I can take a hit and then baton pass out, so that's very, very nice as far as that is concerned. He just continues to play the Hidden Power Ground. I don't know if he knows what my last Pokemon is, which, to be honest, this is my main first team that I used, and I don't even remember during this narration what that Pokemon is. Oh, yes I do, Machamp. So I'm going to pull a Baton Pass here into Hammond. Now this thing is trapped, and it has Hidden Power Ground and Double Edge, but you're going to see that Double Edge is actually doing a pretty nice chunk of damage. Now I'm looking at the damage that Solar Beam, I'm thinking, okay, the damage output between Solar Beam and the Double Edge recoil should be enough to take this Gyarados down. Should be. Because I did pass a growth as well, and that Solar Beam actually does take the Gyarados down, so that is awesome. I don't know why I didn't Psychic. I mean, it really doesn't matter because of the Solar Beam, but the biggest thing here is he couldn't switch, so there was really no reason for him to, for me to deviate attacks. And I know he's going to crunch here, so I'm going to get a free switch into Machamp. Machamp can easily deal with this T-Tar. I'm not too afraid of it. I've just got to see what remains on his team. Cross Chop easily going to one-shot this T-Tar, no big deal. Please ignore that Skype window that came up. I really need to learn to D&D when I'm battling, because, yeah. And unfortunately for my opponent, all he's going to have left is his Machamp, and he's got to deal with my Exeggutor and my Umbreon and my Machamp in order to win this battle. So I'm going to miss my Cross Chop. He's going to hit his immediately. And when he hits his, he's actually going to get a very high damage roll. That's a non-crit Cross Chop high damage roll. And again comes another Cross Chop for me. I do not get anything going on that. And unfortunately, he gets another high damage roll, bring me down to 80 after the leftovers recovery. And he doesn't overpredict, so I'm impressed. He goes straight for the Earthquake. I could have brought in an Egg right there, but I did not. And from that range, believe it or not, Fire Blast will take out Hammond, I do believe. So I switch again, I double switch out to Angel, because what I'm trying to figure here is I'm trying to figure the leftovers recovery, because factoring that leftovers recovery is going to be key in taking this oncoming Fire Blast from this Machamp. But he does take out my Angel Star with a Cross Chop, leaving me with just my Hammond. So my Hammond has to deal with his Machamp. And from this range, I'm trying to calculate if I can take a Fire Blast, and believe it or not, from 177, I cannot. So this game goes down a hard 1-0 against MaverickHuntervile. Hope you guys have enjoyed the match. This was a re-narration because of music issues, but I re-narrated and I've got some different music behind it, as you can tell from the original upload. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I don't know where Maverick Hunter went, but he's a great battler. Hope to battle him again. If you guys enjoy second generation, make sure you rate, comment, like, and subscribe. And as always, rate, comment, subscribe. Peace out, objection, and find the computer room. Peace.